Boker Tov, Shalom, Rabbi Eric Solomon, Raleigh, North Carolina, Beth Mar Synagogue. Morning Torah in honor of Passover, Pesach. So, people ask me, every year around this time, there are videos or things on the History Channel. Did the Exodus happen? Is it true? And here's what I say. When I was a kid, I really had problems sitting still and particularly reading books. Anything I could read, aside from a few mysteries, really at an earlier age, was like nonfiction. I was fascinated a bit with history. And so I really could sit and read, barely. But I do remember when I was in early high school, when our teacher assigned us a book that I'll never forget, Of Mice and Men by John Steinbeck. And I won't explain the whole story here. If you haven't read it, go run out and read it. One of the best stories I've ever read. It's a short book, which helped. And in the course of the story, the main punchline, not to give it away, is that there are two brothers, and one of the brothers is something like developmentally disabled, autistic, maybe severely. And basically, at the end of the story, in order to save this brother from being killed by an angry mob, because he committed a crime unwittingly, the older brother kills him and murders his own brother in an act of actually compassion. This story was so unbelievable. I was reading it. I read it in one night. I'd never done that before on a fiction book. And at the end, when I read that passage where the brother killed his own brother, I think, if I remember correctly, by suffocating him, I was so shocked that I actually, and I was probably like ninth grade, I got teary in my eyes. And I was shocked at my response. To cry at a book I knew wasn't true, but it was a fiction book by John Steinbeck. And really, that lesson, it still sits me this very day. Was the story of these two brothers, things Lenny, true? No, it didn't happen. John Steinbeck never claimed it was historically true, although it was written in a very style that felt. But the story, the love between the brothers, the compassion, the way it happened, it was true on the heart level. Is a truth of life in it. Ultimately, we have no significant archaeological evidence that the Exodus happened, certainly as described in the Torah. There is different theories. There's a Richard Friedman book on the Exodus. You can look at that, about some aspects or miniature pieces or a small group left Egypt. I don't care. Is it true that in every generation, people are seeking liberation from Pharaoh, either impersonated or internal? Absolutely. Every year at every time. The Exodus story has truth. Plagues, they are still here. Our job here is to take not just the quote-unquote factual truth, what historically happened, but the soul truth of the story. We're all on the journey to the promised land, and all of us are enslaved, one way or another. Can we take that truth, inspire us, lift us, not only us, but our world, in this Passover and the year to come? That's the message of the truth of Passover. Learned it from Rabbi John Steinbeck. Shabbat Shalom.